anxious attachment, avoidant attachment. And let's be real, it's all bullshit. It's all a scam. You don't think about these things until after you're already going through it with your partner or whoever you're trying to be with, right? So, like, let me ask you a question, right? And this is a question I had to sit and ask myself from recent experiences. Do you feel loved from the person that you're dating, from your partner, whether it be man or woman? Do you feel loved? Because if you have to convince yourself that they love you, even though you don't feel it, like, it's not genuine. And at some point, you're gonna harbor some type of resentment. There's gonna be something. One person or both just aren't gonna feel not 100%. Why? Because you have to look past not feeling loved from the person that you're dating. Why not just date someone who makes you feel loved? Who either already has the habits that makes you feel loved or is willing to adopt those habits. But let's not sit here and make excuses for the person who doesn't want to or doesn't have the capacity to love us in the way that we receive love, right? Because when you're in a relationship, you learn to love one another, right? Because everybody gives and receives love in different ways. We're different people, right? So as you're getting to know your partner, what do you know? You got to learn how to love the other person. You got to learn what makes the other person feel loved, right? What does that take? That takes communication. That takes patience. And a lot of times it takes conflict. Conflict management. Conflict resolution. If you're in a space, and I'm partially speaking to myself here because I was in a situation like this in the past, but if you're in a space where you're constantly making excuses for the other person, oh, well, when they get upset at me, they ghost me for days. I don't feel loved. That doesn't feel like love to me. To me, personally. If I'm upset with my partner, that's still my partner. I might not like them right then, but that's still my partner. And I'm going to still be there, and I'll still be available, and I can still be around them. Because to me, that's what love is. So if somebody, every time they get upset, they feel the need to take large amounts of space, that doesn't feel loving to me. That makes me feel tolerated. Why should I continue to remain in that same space if the person that I'm dealing with is not willing to adopt new habits? If you're dealing with someone who is constantly not making you feel loved, they're not willing to adopt the new habits. If they're not willing to love you in the way that you receive love, move on. Move on for your peace. Out of love for yourself. Because there's going to be people out there who would be happy to love you in the way that you receive love, instead of constantly giving you resistance and well, I only do this, well, this is how I do things. Nah, you're in a relationship, it's gonna be changes on both ends, because you gotta learn how to be with one another, right? So again, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment. I used to get caught up in these conversations. I even brought up these topics with someone I dated, but eventually I came to the conclusion, this shit don't matter. It does not matter. Why? Because I was not feeling loved. Do yourself a favor, and I wish I had done this sooner, but do yourself a favor, and out of love and respect for yourself, put yourself in the environment, put yourself around people that make you feel loved and not tolerated. Okay? Let's be real. Okay, let's be real. You can make excuses as much as you want for the person who is taking all this extra space, who shuts down, who stonewalls, who whatever, unhealthy habits they may have, where they pull away because you have to communicate to overcome any type of obstacle. So everything becomes a bigger obstacle, right? So out of love for yourself, to give peace to yourself, not just mentally, but within your spirit as well. Be willing to walk away. I imagine you're willing to make those changes. Your partner come to you like, yo, woody woo, this will make me feel loved. This will make me feel appreciated. You know what you would do? You would take notes, right? You deal with the avoidant attached person. And it's, well, they can't do that because the way that they deal with conflict and the way that they deal with, feedback, they can't take feedback and they shut. Bruh. It's not your responsibility to train them to be better partners, go find a better partner. How about that? My camera's dying, so I gotta go. More videos coming soon, alright? Let me know what y'all want me to talk about. Y'all know. Oh, you might not know, but I love to talk. I love to yap. And I love to share my opinion. So, more videos coming soon. Like, share, subscribe. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.